Hello everyone, and welcome back to Slow Spoken English. My name is Richard.
And I'm Diana. Thank you for joining us for another episode.
Today, we're continuing our discussion about problems and complaints, but this time we'll explore the topic in greater depth.
That's right. We'll discuss not only how to make a complaint, but also how to communicate effectively when things go wrong, how to remain professional, and how to find practical solutions.
We'll share some personal experiences and discuss situations involving businesses, government departments, healthcare providers, landlords, and service companies.
And as always, we'll include comprehension questions throughout the episode to help you practice your listening skills.
And if you're enjoying our podcast, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join us for future episodes.
Richard, many people dislike making complaints.
I think that's true. Some people worry they'll appear rude or confrontational.
But complaints are actually an important form of communication.
Absolutely. If nobody reports problems, organizations may never realize something needs to be improved.
A good complaint isn't about blaming someone.
It's about identifying a problem and helping to find a solution.
In professional environments, that's a very important distinction. Comprehension question 1. According to Richard, why are complaints important?
Because they help organizations identify problems and improve their services. A few years ago, a friend of mine rented an apartment with a leaking roof.
What happened?
Every time it rained heavily, water would drip into the living room.
That sounds frustrating.
It was. My friend initially sent several polite emails but received no response.
How did he handle the situation?
He kept detailed records, took photographs, and documented every conversation.
That's excellent advice.
Eventually, he sent a formal written complaint and referred to the obligations outlined in his lease agreement.
And that solved the problem?
Within a week, repairs were scheduled.
Comprehension question 2.
What evidence did my friend collect?
He collected photographs and records of his communications. Comprehension question 3. Why was the lease agreement important?
Because it described the landlord's responsibilities.
One lesson from that story is the importance of documentation.
Definitely.
Many complaints become much easier to resolve when you have evidence.
That might include receipts, invoices, emails, photographs, or screenshots.
People often rely on memory.
But written records are usually much more persuasive.
Comprehension question 4.
Can you name 2 examples of documentation?
Examples include receipts, emails, invoices, photographs, and screenshots.
Diana, have you ever had a difficult experience dealing with a government department?
Actually, yes. Shortly after moving to Australia, there was a problem with one of my official documents.
What kind of problem?
My surname had been recorded incorrectly.
That sounds simple, but I imagine it caused complications.
It did. The incorrect spelling appeared across several records.
How did you fix it?
I gathered my identification documents and contacted the department.
Were they helpful?
Eventually, yes. But the process required patience and persistence.
Persistence is a great word.
It means continuing to make an effort, even when something is difficult. Comprehension question 5. What problem appeared on my official documents?
Her surname had been recorded incorrectly. Comprehension question 6. What does persistence mean?
It means continuing to make an effort despite difficulties. Let's talk about emotions.
Good idea.
When people feel frustrated, they sometimes become angry.
Which is understandable.
But anger doesn't always help.
In fact, remaining calm often produces better results.
A customer service representative is more likely to assist someone who communicates clearly and respectfully.
That's especially true when the representative didn't personally cause the problem.
Comprehension question 7. Why is remaining calm often beneficial?
Because it encourages productive communication and cooperation. Healthcare complaints can be particularly sensitive.
Yes, people are often worried, stressed, or unwell when medical issues arise.
A complaint might involve long waiting times, administrative mistakes, or communication problems.
It's important to explain concerns clearly and factually.
Rather than saying,
Everything was terrible. You might say,
I waited 3 hours beyond my scheduled appointment time and was not informed about the delay.
that statement is much more specific. Comprehension Question 8.
Why is specificity important when making a complaint?
Because specific details help others understand the problem accurately. Today, many complaints happen online.
That's true. People use email, online chat systems, and social media platforms.
Social media can be powerful.
But it can also create problems.
Some people immediately post angry comments online.
Without first contacting the organization directly.
Sometimes a private conversation can solve the issue much faster.
And often with less conflict. Comprehension Question 9.
What communication method should sometimes be tried before posting publicly online?
Direct communication with the organization. Another important concept is consumer rights.
Consumer rights protect people who purchase goods and services.
For example, customers generally expect products to function as advertised.
And if they don't, customers may be entitled to repairs, replacements, or refunds.
Understanding your rights can make complaints more effective. Comprehension Question 10. What are consumer rights designed to do?
They help protect customers when purchasing goods and services. I think it's interesting that complaint styles vary between cultures.
I agree.
In some countries, direct communication is common.
While in others, people prefer a more indirect approach.
Neither style is necessarily wrong.
The key is understanding the expectations of the situation.
Comprehension Question 11. Do all cultures communicate complaints in the same way?
No. Different cultures often use different communication styles. Sometimes a complaint needs to be escalated.
We've mentioned that word before.
Yes, but let's examine it more closely.
Escalation means moving the complaint to someone with greater authority.
Perhaps a supervisor, manager, regulator, or ombudsman.
Escalation should usually happen only after reasonable attempts have been made to resolve the issue. Comprehension Question 12.
What does escalation involve?
Moving a complaint to someone with greater authority. One thing many organizations overlook is that complaints can be valuable.
That's true.
Complaints provide feedback.
And feedback helps organizations improve.
Some of the best business improvements come directly from customer complaints. Comprehension Question 13. How can complaints benefit organizations?
They provide feedback that can lead to improvements. Not every complaint results in a perfect outcome.
Sometimes compromise is necessary,
A customer may not receive everything they requested.
but they may still receive a reasonable solution.
Successful resolution often depends on flexibility from both sides.
Comprehension Question 14. What is a compromise?
A solution where both sides make some concessions. Looking back, most complaints I've made were resolved when I remained calm, organized, and polite.
I'd say the same.
The combination of evidence, patience, and respectful communication is usually very effective.
And those skills are useful not only when making complaints, but in many areas of life.
Comprehension Question 15. According to our discussion, what 3 qualities often help resolve complaints?
Patience, evidence, and respectful communication. Let's review today's key vocabulary.
Documentation.
Written or recorded evidence.
Persistence.
continuing despite difficulties,
specificity,
providing detailed information,
consumer rights,
protections for customers,
escalation,
moving a complaint to a higher authority,
compromise,
a solution where both sides make concessions,
resolution.
the successful solving of a problem. Phew, well, that's all for today's episode.
We hope you've learned some useful English expressions and communication strategies for dealing with problems and complaints.
Remember, effective communication isn't about winning an argument.
It's about clearly explaining a problem and working towards a solution.
Try listening to this episode again and repeating the vocabulary aloud.
You'll become more confident each time you hear and use these expressions.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content.
Diana, I hope you have a most wonderful day with no problems in it. Thank you, dear viewers, for listening.
Thank you so much, Richard. Can I say you never give me anything to complain about? So we'll see you next time on Slow Spoken English.
Cheers, everyone.